So for anybody running a small business or trying to start up a business, Facebook can be really useful for them in terms of cheap advertising, being able to target customers. But let's have a look at how they use our data, our information, and sell this to companies in order to bring advertising money in for Facebook. Now you're ready to create your advert, what you can then start doing is thinking about who you want to target. Now this is the same as any other form of advertising. You're not going to put an advert for nappies necessarily in a nightclub toilet. It's not a good idea. It's not going to be reaching the market that perhaps you want to reach. So Facebook works, and all the social media apps, they work in a similar sort of way. However, let's look at the sort of details that they can give you. So first of all, you can have a look, and it says that you can target a particular person if you want. Not a great idea because that's just one person. You can start targeting people by gender, people by their age. Now, how do we know what age people are? Well, of course, because we tell Facebook and all these different ones what age we are. Then we can have a look at where they're based. If I'm creating an advert for, takeaway service in Chesterfield, then there's not much point me advertising it to people in London, unless they want a long wait for their food. Again, how does Facebook know this information? Well, we tell them. Now this is the bit when our data becomes really useful for Facebook and quite useful for local companies or organisations or businesses. So where it says include people who match at least one of the following: demographic, interests or behaviours. So now demographic is just another way of talking about people and how they might be different, and their different income and their different ethnicity and all their different things that make them different from each other. So now when I'm creating my advert, what I really want to do is reach people that are useful to me. So I want to kind of target football fans, because maybe I have a football replica shirt business. And from this, what I can do is I can target people who are football fans, and it says they're moderate. How do we know this? They might like a status, they might post something about a match, they might watch a clip online, something like that. Football fans who have high content engagement would be ones where they've told us that they regularly go to matches through the photos they've put, through the statuses they like, through the pages they like, through all the stuff they interact with. So all this stuff that people are doing online is giving me and Facebook the information they need, so I can target them and try and get them to buy something. I can even target the friends of football fans as well, because who knows, maybe they've got a passing interest and they might be useful for me to target. So my advert now is nearly ready, but I want to find out a little bit more information about the people that I want to target. And I might want to find out, for example, about whether or not they left school with some qualifications, whether they've gone to university, how much money they may have, what job they might have, what things have happened in their life recently, what kind of things are coming up, such as birthdays. I might want to find out whether or not they're in a relationship, whether they're married, whether they're single, whether they're divorced, and I might want to find out about which job they do. Now again, how do I find out all this information? Well, of course it's because, and you'll be getting used to this by now, we've told them. Now, different ways in which we tell Facebook all this information might be through the things that we put on our profile, where we might put about which school we've been to, which university we went to, so later in life you might do that. We might tell them about where we live. It might also be, though, through photos we share, so, if we're celebrating our exam results. It might also be, as well, through status updates, where we're talking about something that may have happened or something like that. And that gives Facebook all this different information, which they can then sell to advertisers to target. For this bit about income, now zip code is in the USA is the same as a postcode here in the UK. Now you might think, well, how do they know that they're in the top 10% of household incomes? How do they know they're in the top 5%? And again, this is through the information we give Facebook, whether it is people showing off about their new house or just sharing the happiness of their new house online, whether or not it is people saying what their job is or sharing a new job promotion or something else like that on Facebook. This gives them all the information they need. And this doesn't mean that people are putting their salary on there or how much money they're earning, but if somebody's putting down, for example, that they are an accountant at a big company, then Facebook can make some sort of guess around their salary. People don't put stuff online about, oh, I've just bought this house for this much amount of money, but at the same time, if people have bought a house in a certain area and the picture shows that it's a certain size, then Facebook can do the rest and can work out how much it's worth. Other ways in which you can also target your advert is around people's life events, whether it was the day they got married, whether it was their date of birth, their birthday of a loved one, any other significant life events. Now, on one level, that's really nice because what it means is you don't have to forget anyone's birthday and you get loads of nice messages that you might not have got on your birthday. However, This is also useful for Facebook because what they can actually do is they can start targeting somebody with an advert. Also, as we tell Facebook all this information about ourselves, such as our ethnicity, you can also target people based on their background or their ethnic identity. Again, in some ways this can be very useful. If you have a company and you have hair products, for example, which are particularly targeted black British people, then it may not be much use to spend your money on advertising aimed at a wider white population. However, this information is available to people who may run political pages, and so you may be a far right group and then you can only target your information at white people, or you may be an Islamist group and you can only target your information at Muslim people. You target people based on their political beliefs, very useful if you're running a political campaign. This may be where people may have posted something that they were angry about, it was a petition they shared, or whether or not they liked someone's status, or even if somebody posted, for example, something about climate change and someone else agreed with it or interacted with it. That would tell Facebook lots of information about your political beliefs. Facebook also sells information about how much we travel, and how do they know that? Again, because quite often we might post stuff in statuses, we might share photos from our holiday, different things like that. But it also tells them so much more about us. It tells them whether or not we have to travel to go to work. It tells them whether or not we frequently take holidays, and if so, maybe that also tells them how much money we have in our pocket or what we like to spend our money on. This again helps businesses target people a bit more accurately.